Good morning, my beautiful friends. This is your wake up call with Maui Paul. I am Maui Paul. Today, we are going to be going through one of my I am cards. So, we're gathered here to say some nice things about ourselves. And as we do, I want to say, first of all, thank you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing this stream. You guys are amazing, and it is because of you that I have such an amazing time doing this. So, you guys are awesome, and I am looking forward to seeing what kind of a card that we pull today. So, we are going to first of all get going by pulling a card off the top of the deck. I'm going to ask you if you are the affirmation on the card. You're going to respond, "I am the affirmation on the card." We're going to write it down, and then we are going to discuss it. So, let's get started by saying that today I am bold. I am bold. I recognize opportunity and move decisively. So I am bold. I recognize opportunity and move decisively. Are you bold? You are bold. You recognize opportunity and move decisively. So I'm going to write that down into the chat, and I encourage you to do the same thing. I encourage you to take that I am bold thought and move it from your head and move it from a thought that you've just heard me say and put it into the computer. Put it through your fingers. Turn that thought into some fine motor skills and write down that I am bold. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to say I am bold. I recognize opportunity and move decisively. All right, I am bold today. And you are bold as well. You've made a bold choice in getting up and watching this. You have made a bold choice. Good morning there, Grant. I see that you are. I see that you're here. You're a bold person. And so what is boldness? I believe that. Well, I like the graphic that I chose for this card because boldness is a very black and white thing for me. It's a study in contrast. Good morning, Brenda Jean. I see that you are there. When we are bold, in order to recognize opportunity, we first have to understand what it looks like. We have to understand that opportunity is something that is unique to us. So only we really know what's good for us and what's not. And as we go through life, we recognize that some opportunity, some things which seem really good are actually not good for us at all, and some things which don't seem good at all turn out to be amazing opportunities. And so it's really important for us to be able to sift the wheat from the chaff. And so once we recognize that there's an opportunity, it's important to reach out and grab that opportunity, to move decisively. In order to seize opportunity, we have to move. The opportunity is somewhere where we are not. And so we need to position ourselves in such a way as to take full advantage of it. And as we move, we're saying, and we say yes to opportunity, we're saying no to other things. The most important of which is that we are saying no to who we used to be. We uh, we experience our own death in that way. We experience the death of who we used to be in the birth of who we are becoming. And that's really what it means to move decisively. So when we are bold and we recognize opportunity and we move decisively, we are essentially reaching out for and taking hold of something which is very important to us. So that, and we have to release things which are less important. We have to release things that don't serve us. Perhaps they served us at one time. There's a reason why we have taken hold of them in the first place. They served us. And I recall a time where I was making some very significant life changes, and I had to let go of some things, and these were things that had been in my life for a long time. And I remember looking at them and saying, "Wow, how could I ever let go of these things? How could I ever let go of these ideas? How could I let go of these ways of being in order to grab onto something else? These are comfortable. I've been with them for a long time." And I realized at that moment that in order, that those ideas, that those ways of being were holding me back, and that in order for me to become the person that I would rather be, I needed to let them go. And that they didn't hold me back when I adopted them. When I adopted them, they actually helped me through life for many, many years. So, and a lot of the ideas that we have are ideas that we adopted when we were children, when we were very young. And do we really allow children to run our lives? Of course not. It's as adults, it is imperative that we run our own lives. Good morning there, Shauna. I see that you're there, and good morning, Lauren. I see you have showed up as well. It's wonderful to see you guys around. So boldness involves understanding where we're going and releasing who we used to be, who's holding us back, the anchors in our lives, which are much more often ideas than things. And to move decisively means to kill off all other opportunity. The word decide comes from the Latin decidere, which means to cut off, and side, cide, is a Latin suffix which means to kill, not just to cut off, but to kill, to cut off without any possibility of remediation. So when we decide, we are we are killing off all other opportunities. And I remember there have been many times in life where I've had to make a decision, and where I just couldn't straddle the fence. I had to do one thing or another. When I moved back to the United States from living in Costa Rica, it was a really big decision, and I had to kill off my old life, which was comfortable, but at the same time had no future. I recognized that it had no future. It served me for a while, but it had no long-term future. I had tried many permutations to make that life in Costa Rica work, and to make it work long term, but it just wasn't getting any closer to working long term, even though it was meeting my needs in that moment. I recognized that I needed to come back to the United States in order to become the man that I saw inside of myself when I closed my eyes. So I had to make that bold decision, and it was not an easy one to make. And it involved killing off all other possibilities. It involved essentially laying to rest all of the ideas that I had about myself, or many of the ideas that I had about myself, ideas that I'd had for a very long time. So this card is our permission slip today. Let's be bold. Let's move decisively. Let's decide who we are, and then let go of and drop and kill off all of the aspects and all of the things and all of the ideas that do not support us and who we are and who we are becoming. And let's recognize that in many cases, these ideas that we have, these ways of being, these mindsets that we have adopted, that these mindsets are holding us back, and that they were actually very beneficial to us at one time. And that's why we still hold on to them, because at the time that we adopted them, they were the absolute best thing that we could come up with. And so yeah, so Brenda Jean says her primary love language is acts of service, and lately she finds that she's been exhausting herself with tasks that serve others. And it's time for her to check in and make sure these are opportunities for herself. Otherwise, she's spending her limited amount of energy on things that don't serve her. You're darn right, Brenda Jean, and I'm proud of you for noticing that, for not only knowing your own love languages and how you love to serve other people, but also recognizing that when those love languages are cutting into your time, and which is so precious. You say it all the time, time is the most precious asset. Everybody has 24 hours in a day. Some people use them more effectively than others. So, and I can see how your desire to love other people and your desire to serve them and help them and care about them and show your affection for them, uh, it serves you in that moment, but it doesn't actually serve you long term. And so there comes a time to say, okay, well, what are the things that are serving me, and what are the things that are not? And to really lean into the ones that are serving you, and then to cut off the ones that aren't. And I think that you're on the right path and you're doing a great thing. Shauna says, I'm bold, baby, sloughing off what no longer serves and moving on, moving boldly toward the dream. You're darn right. And it is kind of a sloughing off. It is like when you're If you've ever had like a mud bath or anything like that, if you've ever been in a spa and you've ever been covered in mud, you're scraping off that mud, and in scraping off that mud, we also scrape off a little bit of our skin. So there's a pieces of us that come off with all of that other stuff that was put on. So this is going a little bit long today, and I know that everybody has work to do and places to be. So I want to say thank you so much for coming by and having fun with me. We are determined today. We are moving intentionally toward our dreams. That's our weekly card. And I'm just really appreciative that you guys are here and having some fun with me. So thank you for arriving. If you need to have a specific affirmation, I have them all archived on my YouTube channel, which is linked in the video description. And until then, I will see you later on tonight, 9 p.m. We are going to be doing Nightfall with Maui Paul, and we are going to be going over this card once again, this I Am Bold card, and talking about how it showed up in our world today. Lauren's boarding a plane to Panama. That does require some boldness, Lauren. It does require boldness to be exiting the country like that. And I hope you have a fantastic time to Panama. Uh, yeah, I will talk to you guys at 9 p.m. tonight. Again, thank you for engaging with this stream. Thank you for sharing it. And thank you for being here. You guys support me and in my boldness in even showing up every single day to, yeah, to bring this message. So thank you so very much. I'll talk to you guys later. Aloha from paradise.